Hey guys, it's me, A. Taylor AI1, Amy, and I'm making meatballs. So this is the first part of the meatballs. We're going to use, this is about 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds of meat, because you got to remember I'm feeding a lot of people, so you may want to reduce this amount of, this is ground chuck, which is 80-20, 2 eggs, and then some Parmesan, some pepper and some salt, and some tomato sauce, and some garlic. Okay, so I'm just going to add these together. So basically, because to me it doesn't matter, I don't know, they always scramble the eggs, but you're going to scramble it when you mix it. So we're going to pour it in, okay, and then we're going to pour in all of our seasonings here, okay, and then we're going to put in, that's about 1/4 cup of the Parmesan, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and about 2 teaspoons of the pepper. This is about we're just going to pour in about half of it and see how it goes, which is probably about 1 cup. So I'm going to put that in. Yeah, it made a mess here. That's okay. So then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to mix it. And after I mix it, I have a scoop. Now this is a 1 ounce scoop, and that's how I'm going to form my meatballs, so they're all the same size, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Alright. Okay guys, what I've done is just simply hand mix this together, the eggs and the seasoning and the tomato sauce, and then I'm just going to go ahead and form the balls, which is using the scoop, and putting them onto a baking pan. So the scoop, just like I said before, you know, we have the same size. So this will be the size of the meatballs. So I'll show you that in just a second. Okay guys, all I'm going to do is take the scoop that I had, remember the scoop, and I'm going to scoop these onto the pan, okay? So it makes the same size balls so that they cook evenly, okay? Whoops, that one really didn't look well, did it? You may want to pack it down, which will involve, in case you can't see, let me move it over. Crap. You know what I forgot, guys? This is terrible. I can't figure out why this thing is not doing right. You know what I forgot? I'm trying to figure this out, guys, so bear with me. I forgot the panko breadcrumbs. You can use regular breadcrumbs that you can buy, or you can make your own by toasting the bread and then putting it into the food processor. So here's the breadcrumbs. So I'm going to add approximately, probably about, that's about 2 cups of the breadcrumbs. So probably an average of about 3/4 cups, or 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs to every pound of meat. And then also, I forgot, this is like the greatest thing I found here, which is garlic. You get it in the produce section of your grocery store. So that's that, and I forgot to add that in. So that's probably a good tablespoon or so. You can eye it. We love garlic, so that's fine by us. I'm going to chop up some onion real quick. You know, my mind is just not working today. So let me just go ahead and chop up some onion, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I added the breadcrumbs and the garlic, as we already know, and then we're going to add the onion that I've diced without the skin. This is about a good cup's worth, and we're going to add about half of that cup into the onion. And now I'm just going to mix it again, this time correctly, since the first time I didn't do so well. So that's all I'm doing. I'm sure y'all don't want to watch this, so I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to get our pot of broth and water going and form our meatballs on the sheet tray to drop into the boiling water. So that's the point that we're at. Alright guys. One moment. Okay, so now we have our sheet pan. I covered it with some foil just to keep it a little bit cleaner. I've got our mixture in my little bowl or pot or pan or whatever that I had. And so now I'm going to use my scoop and form balls, okay? So that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just going to put it down, whoops, where you can see it. So anyways, you just form it. I like using the scoop because it kind of regulates the size of the meatballs. To me, it makes it a little bit easier. So just form your meatballs and put them on the pan, and then we're going to drop them into boiling water, whoops, when we're done. Alright guys. Okay guys, I've got a lot of the meatballs already done on the sheet pan, as you can see. What I've decided to do, since I had a lot more meat than I anticipated on, even though I knew I had 2.5 pounds of meat, I'm going to go ahead and place this one sheet pan into the oven to roast, and then I can freeze it and use it as meatballs later. And then the rest of the meat I'm going to use for the soup. So, right back. Hey guys, it's me, Amy. Well, shoot, I already told y'all that. I'm sorry, I'm not used to video editing. So anyways, this is a continuation that I'll put together. I have the meatballs that I'm going to put into the pot, and as you see, there's my pot of boiling water. And right past the pot, if you can see it, because I'm having to do this by myself because Stevie got kind of an attitude and, you know, typical boy. So anyways, what we're going to do at this point for this recipe is we have our meatballs ready. I have a can of beans. I'm just using what's available. If you have frozen, fresh, whatever, use them. This is what I have. So I have some string beans and some corn. Sorry. And I have some better than bouillon beef broth base. So I'll just put this up a little bit here so you can see the pot. And all I'm going to do is take some of the bouillon here and put it in here into the boiling water, which I'm hoping you're seeing. Okay, you are. And I would say probably 2 good spoonfuls. So that would probably be about a couple of tablespoons of the beef broth. So you mix that into the boiling water. Now, since the meat, of course, is going to take longer, we're going to go ahead and put that in first, which is the meatballs, which is here. So we're going to dunk those in and let those cook. One at a time here. Oops. Kind of splattered. You should put it from the front to the back. Don't do what I just did, which was not that direction. You want to be very careful. You don't want to burn yourself, people. You want to make sure that you keep yourself a little bit safe when you're cooking, I guess. So anyways, so we're going to put all the meatballs in, which we've just now done, and stir it around, as you can see, and let that cook a little bit. Now, all we're going to do is take our string beans and add those. Can of string beans, can of corn. Now, I made some macaroni earlier, and that was just following the directions on the thing. A big pot of water, and a big pot of water with a lot of salt, because you always want to salt it and you never want to rinse it. Well, there are times that you would rinse, but sorry, this is not the time to rinse. So this is a huge thing of this is a whole box of macaroni, more than I need for this recipe, but I'm going to use this for another recipe tomorrow that I'll show y'all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add back. Now, I cooked this. I put the water to a good boil, added my macaroni to it, covered it, and turned off the oven, and then let it just do its thing for, you know, until I needed it. So we're just going to go ahead and put in, well, as much as you want. And this is not the you know, you want your macaroni, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but you want your macaroni to be soft but not like fluffy. Okay, you don't want it so freaking puffed up that it's just nasty. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and put that in there, and this is what it's looking like so far. So we're gonna let this simmer and cook for a little while. And like I said, the macaroni that I have left, I'm going to make a casserole with. I don't know if I said it or not. Whoops. Oh well, lost that bit. But anyways, so we continue onward, don't we? Alright, back in a minute. Hey guys, oh, sorry. Let me put you back down. These were the meatballs I put into the oven. This is kind of the way I like them, crispy on the outside. This is one I already bit into it. Isn't that terrible? I'm biting into it again. It's good. Well, I'm waiting for the soup to finish doing its thing. These are the meatballs. Sorry, I'm chewing. These are the meatballs that I will put into the freezer for spaghetti. Or even something else, I mean spaghetti or whatever I need meatballs for. So they may look a little bit dark, but to me, you know, when you take one, you open it up, nice and tender on the inside. So it's crispy on the outside, tender on the inside. So anyways, I'll be right back with our soup, which is right there still cooking, and I will see you in a minute. Okay guys, this is the finished product, which is the meatballs and the macaroni. By the way, the reason why you don't want to overcook your macaroni is because once you boil it halfway, you're going to put it in your soup like that, and it's going to continue to boil, so you don't want it to be mush. So this is it. This is how it looks. So let me take a taste. Hang on. Very good. Hot. Hang on. A piece of the meat here. Very good. So this is meatball soup as I'm making it. You know, this is just how I make it. So this is the boys' supper. And of course, with the boys' supper, we do need a bread. And I'm going to do that too, because I have this bread. Let me see. Here you are. It's a baguette. This is a just a bakery bread, and you take some bread, you know, cut one off, and just stick it in there to soften up. Boy, that looks good, doesn't it? To me it does anyways. Soak up the broth part. I gotta taste this now. Another thing to make this better is the garlic butter I made the other day, which I have in the refrigerator, so I think I'll heat that up and add it. So, this is it, guys. Live, love, and eat, and I will talk to you later. Bye.